Gus, please. This is a place of business.
What's good, everybody? Just getting my room together.
Okay. One.
What's good, Antoine Q, Rashawn Clutch, everybody? What's goody? Hey,
What's good? What's good?
nothing much. I literally just got done cleaning up.
Okay.
What about you?
Chilling.
And I'm trying to look for an album I want to talk about and shit like that. But
Uh huh.
that's one thing about Alphabetize. See, either I got like pull out show by show and shit. Yeah.
Right.
So I was thinking, I'm definitely gonna do a live on that versus October 17th.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
No doubt.
So that means we have two videos, the versus, and that's the same day we do Battle of Los Angeles too.
Like
I might push that Battle of Los Angeles to midnight that day then. But
the midnight on next Sunday.
Sunday after next.
Oh, Sunday. So what's next Sunday?
Evil Empire.
Oh yes, that's right. I forgot. I forgot.
Yeah.
Okay.
Found it. Alright. Yes, sir. I really this month is gonna be heavy.
Crazy.
Let's see something. You know what? That's actually a good idea. So, Halloween is the anniversary of this album, right?
Yes. And the Dynasty.
Yes. So
Hmm.
yeah, I never talked about this
And
album.
and Dog Food.
That came out Halloween too?
Hmm. Temples of Boom. That was Halloween, but we already did that review on Halloween. So
Yeah.
yeah, Dog Food was Halloween.
Wow. Okay. So I'm gonna save that announcement until the end of the review and shit, man, because I have an idea.
Okay.
I never knew Dog Food came out Halloween. Wow. Hmm.
Yep.
I mean, I knew Temples of Boom. It makes sense because Temples of Boom does have like a Halloweenish kind of vibe to
Right. It's very dark. Some
it.
say that would be their darkest album. So
I agree.
you know what I mean.
I need to get my hands on the four album too and Skull and Bones.
Yeah, four is still available. Skull and Bones is out of print, I believe.
That versus video man was the best. Thanks for staying watching that Joe and Job battle.
Yeah. We just gonna have Antoine come on for all the verses on that one. He could be like the color commentator. Him and Eric.
I'm low key trying to see if Kuji wants to come over that day too,
Right.
because he loves fucking Kane.
Kane, man, definitely. I'm going with Kane. I'm
So I'm
going
going
with
with
Kane.
Carrie Swan.
I know you're going with Karis.
Yeah,
I'm going with Brooklyn's. Before Jay-Z, there was Kane.
that is
Before
true.
Biggie Smalls, before Biggie, there was Kane.
Yes, that is true.
And AZ and Boot Camp, it was one man that was killing it in the 80s over here.
Jay Z was dancing for Kane and shit.
Right? It wasn't just Scoob and Scrap Lover.
Right. Bust the move, we show and prove.
Right.
But on some real shit, this is like another East Coast versus and shit. But you know what?
I know. Again, do not let this whole regional thing um, get to anybody. You know what I'm saying? If you're a fan of music in general, I don't look at location. It's just they're gonna do the East Coast shit first, and definitely they gotta do the more southern stuff and some West Coast matchups. They gotta do that. You know,
That is true.
and it's gonna be at the Barclays Center. It's gonna be in Brooklyn.
Brooklyn.
You know,
Shit, I know they're gonna do like a Biz Marquee tribute or some shit.
they got to. They got to do that. It's only right. What makes Freddy Krueger better than Michael Myers? Who said Freddy was better than Michael Myers? Y'all having your own conversation in there.
Yo, we were talking about farts and shit earlier.
Michael Myers is dope, but I've always been a more of a fan of Freddy and Jason than Michael Myers. It's crazy, right?
This. I'm about to light my incense and then we about to start.
Are they still doing the Puffy and JD versus or no?
I don't even know, to be real with you.
Puffy don't want that smoke with JD. He
He
needs
wants
to sit
Dre.
down. And he ain't getting Dre. He don't deserve Dre. You got to be actually producing and shit like that to be, you got to be on GOAT status. He ain't GOAT status to be battling Dre. Give me Pete Rock and Dre. Much better matchup.
Yeah, people didn't even do a versus yet. Oh shit.
Yeah. Do you like Venom? Venom was okay. It wasn't great. Yes, we won today, knee boy. Finally, right? Against this damn Saints. And I thought the Saints were a better team.
Alright. I'm ready whenever you are, bro.
Let's go.
What's up, you two? How's everyone doing this Sunday night? It's the Word Reg in the building at my homeboy Try with me.
What up?
The album we are going to talk about today is Rage Against the Machine's self-titled debut album that came out in 1992. This is, of course, a 20th anniversary vinyl edition that got remastered 2012, of course.
Right.
Yes, sir. This is the beginning of our Rage Against the Machine month. We're going to talk about all 4 Rage albums. October 3rd, 10th, 17th, and the 24th, and whatnot. And yeah, man, you know what I'm saying? This is good. This is gonna be a very dope breakdown and shit because Rage is definitely one of my favorite rock groups,
Same.
rap groups, new metal, whatever you want to call them, and shit like that. Excuse me. I'll even consider Zach De La Rocha one of the great MCs in my personal opinion and shit. You know what I'm saying? Because fucking dude can spit his ass off. Call me crazy. I call him like the white equivalent to Public Enemy in a way,
Mm-hmm.
if that makes sense.
Right.
Yeah, man, because you can see the influence they have with like just Public Enemy to like funksters like Curtis Mayfield, with Hendrix,
Right.
Zeppelin, and shit like that. I mean, definitely one of the all-time great groups. And it's crazy too that when they got back together, they're supposed to do the reunion tour. The fucking pandemic pushed
Mm-hmm.
that shit back and shit. So
Then they were doing that in Cuba. Was it Cuba they were doing?
yeah.
Yeah.
hmm
I remember. And then they were gonna be on was it Coachella? I think.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Fuck the pandemic. Ugh.
Crazy.
Yeah, man. How'd you get into Rage Against the Machine?
Just by MTV basically, just being an MTV head and watching everything that they had back in the '90s and just seeing their videos and the way that Zach how he sounded on the mic, for like a rock band, but he was like rapping, and he was like one of the first ones to actually like start rapping. You know what I'm saying? Like before Limp Bizkit and groups like that, Linkin Park and Zach, you know, I was waiting for Zach's solo album. Like when he was talk about him, like when he left the group and you know he was working on his solo album. I was waiting for that joint, and I thought that would have been a classic album coming from like a rock band that he came from, and we never got it. But just hearing them on you know different songs, you know what I'm saying, and you know Guerrilla Radio and War Within the Breath, and those are like some of my favorites. You know, Testify. And,
Ooh. Oof.
it was just the that was like my early years of like you know getting into like alternative like rap rock new metal all that stuff and they've always been a consistent group and you know Tom Morello one of the like best guitarists in my opinion of any band and he's going on to do like so many great things with like other you know groups and you know starting Prophets of Rage with Chuck D and Be Real from Cypress Hill and they're always a great band. Like I've always you know loved their music and what they you know what they were doing like socially before social media, like just getting involved in like you know um, the social awareness and stuff going on in the world and the political side of things and their messages in their songs and you know they've always been great and I've never like discussed any of their music, so it's like the first time really that we discussing anything from them. So, um, when he finally came back, like I was happy when Zach finally came back to the group. I'm like he should have never left. I don't really know the whole like behind the scenes stuff that happened with him and the group, but I'm glad that he was finally back. I mean, I was like for years went by, and like we kept hearing. But people were wondering, like, yo, where's Zach at? Where the album never came out? You know, he was supposed to do shit with Premiere and all these other heads I kept hearing about, Pharoah Monch and all that. And, you know, he was on the low. He was, like, quiet for a lot of years. And I didn't even know what was going on with him. And, you know, like,
I
last
heard
year, huh?
I heard it was some politics behind why he left the Rage Against the Machine. Believe it or not.
Right. And, yeah, like, Audio Slave, like, that's one of my favorite groups also. After, you know, the whole, you know, Zach leaving and, you know, Tom did that side group with Chris Cornell, rest in peace to Chris Cornell. Audio Slave was dope too, and then you know we saw what happened with them, and you know I was happy last year like to hear that you know they joined the group back and they were going on tour, and I was looking forward to Coachella. You know I've seen the last 3 or 4 Coachellas, and they've been good, and I think like if they were on you know if the pandemic didn't happen and they were on there, it would have been like a memorable Coachella. And you know, hopefully we still get that at some point. I would love to see them in concert. And yeah, man, like this is great to even like talk about this stuff.
Yes, sir. Um, yeah, man. And it's not really any story with me how I got into Rage. You know what I'm saying? You know, I just been hearing their music like all throughout the years, like the commercials, you know, radio and shit like that. And I always just loved the influence that they had on music and the game in general. You
Right,
know, people call them like one of the earliest formations when it comes to like new metal, which I can see why people say that, but I never really considered Rage new metal in my opinion. Like they're more like rap metal. Like why consider
right,
new metal like Corn
right,
and shit, like especially Corn's first 2 albums and shit too. So
right.
yeah, man. But yeah, definitely very excited to finally talk about the album. Even though I only have this album in my collection and shit, you have Battle of Los Angeles. So
Yes, yeah. I need to. Well, some of them are out of print. I know
yeah,
this one is available still. The anniversary edition is available. I think the OG copy is available in Evil Empire, but the other ones are like they're not all of them are like in print still. So
yeah, it's crazy. But at the same time, you know, I'm not surprised and shit, you know.
right,
But yeah, for those who don't know who Rage Against the Machine are, they consist of members Tim Comerford, Zach De La Roca, Tom Morello, and Brad Wilk. You know, their formation happened after, you know, the breakup of Tom Morello's been on lockup and stuff like that, the drummer for lockup, John Knox, kind of wanted Tim coming for Zach De La Roca, to form a new group with Tom Morello. And they got in contact, and what ended up happening was they did a couple of auditions and shit like that. But at the same time, Brad Wilk, he almost, he pretty much almost passed them over for Pearl Jam, pretty much, literally,
Oh,
from what I looked up. Yeah.
hmm and that was a great group too, Pearl Jam. So,
Oh yeah, yeah. Pearl Jam, very dope group. I'm
hmm
more fan like their first three, maybe four albums, low key. I'm not gonna lie,
right,
but I didn't even re-listen to like a lot of the discography and shit. But yeah, pretty much the guy that actually came up with the phrase Rage Against the Machine was Kent McClard. Who Kent McClard was like a record label owner and shit like that. He pretty much was a dude that he for all my rock fans, he pretty much made like the punk rock magazine Heart Attack and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Where
right,
it was spoken like a lot of hardcore punk in the '90s and shit. So
right,
he pretty much coined the name Rage Against the Machine, which he got that from like an article in '89 um, from the No Answers and shit like that. So yeah, man, Rage Against the Machine formed and whatnot, and several other record labels they wanted to sign them, but they eventually signed to Epic Records and whatnot too. You know what I'm saying? And they pretty much did some jamming sessions and whatnot. Which pretty much was the basis of this album. And fast forward to December '91, they dropped the original debut album, which was called it was called Rage Against the Machine, but it was also known as American Composite and shit like that.
right.
Which most of those songs like made it into the debut album, like Township Rebellion, Bullet in the Head, and stuff like that too. So that was like a demo album. So they ended up starting working on their like a debut album, which of course was the self-titled album, which I have right here. So the cover of the album, pretty dope and controversial cover because it features um the guy. I think his name was Big Quan. I'm saying I'm probably gonna say his name wrong, but Think Karan Dope. Yeah, y'all know who I'm talking about. He was a Vietnamese Buddhist monk, and this picture was taken by Malcolm Brown, and he pretty much was a president of the Buddhist religion from what I looked up, and he was trying to like persuade John F. Kennedy to withdraw the support for the Demon government, and he burned himself alive right here, and so that's why you have all the flames and the dude burned himself alive. And I'm kind of glad I got the vinyl version because
Mm,
the CD version they just have like this part with the guy and shit like
mm,
that, but the vinyl version shows the whole thing right here. So I'm kind of glad I got that one and shit.
right.
All right, unwrapping. So yeah, this is the vinyl right here, with the lyrics and everything like that. It's the back cover right here and everything. Yes, sir. Yes, Sam. I forgot to mention. Yeah, Maynard Jones Keenan from Tool. He was like the only guest appearance on this album and shit like that. He did backing vocals and stuff too. So yes, sir.
Mm,
All right, give me 1 second because I'm gonna charge my laptop because it's actually about to die.
right.
But yeah, don't be surprised if some of these discussions get a little heavy at times and shit like that. Because I know niggas will have certain opinions about certain issues around and stuff like that too. So
Right.
In 1992 was a dope year for rock music too, man.
Yeah.
Are you a fan of Pantera, right?
No.
Oh,
Well,
what?
I haven't listened to them. I can't say I'm a fan of them. I haven't listened to. I know the groups by name, but I haven't heard their stuff though. Is that like heavy metal?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
That's probably why I don't like it. I'm not a fan of heavy metal. I'm it's alternative rock for me.
They're
Alternative
more
rock.
they're heavy metal, but they have like a groove based heavy metal. If that makes sense because
Okay.
originally they were like a glam rock band, which I'm not gonna lie, I didn't really care for them when they were glam rock and shit. Like in the '90s when they came out with like Cowboys from Hell, and they had the other 1992 album, which I forgot the name of and shit like that, which that was another dope one too.
Man.
When they had like a more harder root bass kind of feel to it, I felt like that was when they really shined and shit. But I would stay away from like the hair metal days and shit, cause yeah, it's yeah, man.
What albums would you suggest from Pantera?
Oh, that's easy. Cowboys from Hell in
Oh,
1990,
oh,
and I'm gonna look up the one from 1992.
okay.
But
So I know what to listen
definitely,
to.
yeah, I would definitely start with Cowboys from Hell
Okay.
and shit, and then 1992, Vulgar Display of Power. That was the one.
All right.
That shit right there. Oh my fucking god.
And they
Next
have them
to
on YouTube, so
yeah, yeah. Next to the Self Titled Rage album. That's might be my favorite rock album from '92 and shit. That
Vulgar from the Vulgar Display of Power. That joint.
yeah, motherfucking get
All right.
punched in the fucking face.
I see that
Like
shit. That's funny.
hell yeah, man. Yeah, man. So this album has 10 songs. Oh, I forgot. Producers include Gigi Garth, who was like he's a Canadian producer who worked with the likes of Nickelback and Red Hot Chili Peppers and Rage Against the Machine, of course. But yeah, 10 tracks, not that
Yeah.
long. You know what I'm saying? Let's get this shit started. Track number one, bomb track. Nice way to start off this fucking album. Very heavy and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Um, Pretty much, this is like a braggadocio track. Cause when people say that's the bomb, you know what I'm saying? That's
Right.
pretty much saying dope and shit like that. So, Rage Against the Machine was just pretty much hyping themselves up. Shit like that. I love
Mhm.
that beat. Beat to that track was so fucking ill and
Mhm.
shit like that. Definitely, like this album, in my opinion, like if you have like a nice system in your fucking car, definitely bump this shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, and I'm gonna get more into the production later on throughout the album and shit too.
Dope ass track. I love the drums and the guitars. Dan 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 dan
Mm,
dan dan dan. Yo, fire. That's a great way to start off any album, if you ask me.
exactly.
And yeah, like it was definitely like I always liked Tom Morello's like riffs. Like his guitar riffs are so memorable on a lot of different songs, especially
Yeah.
on like this album and Evil Empire, Battle of Los
Ooh,
Angeles.
son, I cannot
Those
wait
are
to.
the songs that I can remember. Like when you have like classic riffs, like those melodies people will remember forever. You know what I'm saying?
I
And I like those riffs like from bands like Rage Against the Machine and Linkin Park. So yeah, it definitely like a great way to start the album off.
definitely agree with you on that. Going back into 1992, how could I talk about 1992 in rock without mentioning Alice in Chains Dirt and shit? So
Right. Yes, we reviewed that too. That was a good album.
yes, I'm
Yeah.
like, damn, I knew there was one other one I forgot, but
Hmm.
yeah, those three albums, man, fire.
Right.
But yeah, I definitely agree with you about this album. Like at least 5 songs I can consider like the greatest among the greatest songs in rock or just in
Right.
rap in general and shit.
Yep.
Like, and this isn't a rock debut. You never hear gets mentioned a lot. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You never hear this rock debut get mentioned a lot with like the Led Zeppelin ones or the
Right.
the Dookies or shit like that. You know what I'm saying? But actually, scratch that. That was not their first albums. Excuse me. Oops. Um, the Van Halens, which those albums I love, but I feel like this album should be mentioned in the same breath as
I agree.
those.
I agree. I
Yeah.
agree.
BJ. What's good, bro? Yo, come on here, bro. Come on here, man. We're gonna be up for a while. Track number two, Killing in the Name. Love this track, you know what I'm saying? Definitely a track that is very relevant today, in my opinion.
Man.
Love that in that dan 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 dan
Dun,
dan
dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun.
This is
Fire.
actually the first track I've heard from this album, if I'm not mistaken, and stuff like
Okay.
that. And it was definitely a very heavy track, you know. It was talking about police brutality because this song was actually written around the time of the LA 6 months after the LA riots, you know what I'm saying? Well, after the
Wow.
beating of Rodney King, excuse me.
Right.
And you know, they were just saying their thoughts about how they were comparing the police to the Ku Klux Klan. You know how they say some of those were forces are the same that burn crosses and shit. And I love how he repeats those lines and shit like that. And then the more he repeats those lines, he gets louder and louder and stuff like that. And
Mm-hmm.
usually, if anybody else would have probably done some shit like that, I would
Yeah.
have kind of got annoyed by that. But you know, Zach De La Roca, he's like one of those rare talents
Yeah.
that you know, like the dude is a fucking artistic genius, man. Like
Yeah.
definitely very ill when it comes like this. His thought process, like and shit like that, in my opinion, just crazy. And then I love when he got to the chorus when they say, "Those who died are justified for wearing the badge. They're the chosen whites. You justify those that died by wearing the badge. They're chosen whites and shit, you know." And just that, even that line, "chosen whites," because even like when you have the cops that are black and stuff like that, you know,
Right.
and they, you know, they have that threat of power.
Mm-hmm.
That threat of power, they think that they're unstoppable and they think they can talk to anybody any kind of way and shit.
Right.
And Harris One, like 1 year late, he made that song on Black Cop from Return of the Boom,
Yes.
that
I love that.
classic track, you know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
And yeah, because I've had some hella Black Cops that was just some fucking house niggas
Mm.
and shit, you know?
This it's a code of silence. It's like code blue. They're following the protocol of how the other cops, what the other cops are doing. So it's like fall in line, and they become one of them. You
Exactly.
know, so it's not just the white cops. It's the black cops too. The Asian cops too. You
Right.
know. Yeah, I thought it was a great song. Like I love the bass line from the start to finish, and the track is real chaotic. It has nice drums. You got Zach saying "fuck you, I won't do what you tell me." Sounds so relatable to today's world and the government. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're still dealing with this even now. Like, it's relevant. It'll probably always be like that. And you know, Rage was like just one of those like rare rock groups at that time to tackle those topics. And that I think that's why they so loved by the fans because it went against the grain, and they just talked about what was going on that people could relate to.
Definitely agree with you on that. Definitely. Like it was just that's why certain music is timeless and shit like that, you
Yeah.
know. Just have that message correlates with what's going on today. You don't have everything like that. Like not everybody want to listen to Lamborghini music or whatever, you know. Shit. All right. Just charge my phone. Now we're gonna talk about "Take the Power Back." Another very dope track right here. Excuse me. Excuse me. Self-explanatory. It's just pretty much talking about how you know how like left wing politics, you know, they want to, take power of what to say. And it's just pretty much talking about how, democracy is like very like it's like people want to talk artists talk about democracy. By the end of the day, the politics have the final say.
Right.
Electoral college has the final say too, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And that's like the reason why motherfuckers these days don't want to vote and shit, cause shit like that, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So yeah, um, very, very, very dope song. Again, I love the beat to this track. Definitely a very heavy track. Again,
Yeah, it was great. Great guitar playing by Tom Morello on this one. The track took like a real somber tone, like toward the end when you got Zach saying no more lies, and then it builds back up into like a real loud track, and Zach is saying the rage is relentless. We need to move in with the quickness. You are the witness of the change and counteract. We got to take the power back. Great song. One of my favorites on the album.
I agree, definitely. Next track we got is "Settle for Nothing." Again, another very dark, somber tone. This song kind of reminds me of the movie Kids, in my opinion. Because it's talking about how a dude is growing up in the city, growing up poor, trying to fight for what he wants or whatever. The beat is definitely dark as fuck, in my opinion. Definitely one of my all-time favorite tracks off this album. Yeah, very dope storytelling by Zach De La Rocha too.
And yeah, and I love the chorus, and he's like screaming, read my writing on the wall. No one's there to catch me when I fall. Death is on my side. Suicide. Just definitely like one of them headbanging tracks, and yeah, it was dope. Nice beat.
Very dope. Yeah, very passionate on this track too. I definitely have to agree with you on that.
Yep.
Now we got Bullet in the Head. Again, another timeless track. This is actually my favorite track off this album, you know what I'm saying? It's just talking about how the government, uses the media and stuff like that, for their own agenda and stuff, you know what I'm saying? Just hence that bullet in the head. It's like you make one false move and it's like you blow your fucking head off, or they'll try to threaten your family and shit too.
Right.
Kind of reminds me of certain songs how they were talking about the Illuminati, like Onyx with the track "Last Days" and shit like that too. So definitely love this fucking track. Love Zach De La Rocha on this track too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Love the quote when he says, "Just victims of the in-house drive-by. They say jump, you say how high." Like,
Yes.
fucking
Fine.
ill ass shit.
Again, I like the guitar riffs. Damn, 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 damn. I love that riff in the song and the drums and the chorus, like you said, was dope. And yeah, like again, another solid cut. And definitely one of my favorites. This should have had a video to me. I think
I
it
agree.
should have. It would have been like a big hit off of this album. And yeah, definitely one of my favorites on here.
Definitely agree. This should have had a video. I definitely agree with you on that. Track number 6, "Know Your Enemy," featuring Maynard James Keenan of Tool. Um, very another timeless dope track. Love the intro with like the keys or the synth or whatever you want to call that. Um, pretty much talking about. It's pretty much talking like about the false hope of the American dream and
Right.
stuff, and it's attacking the media, for trying to like use war propaganda to use for the American dream and shit too. And fast forward like literally a decade later, that's what they were doing when it came to like 9/11 and shit like that too. And then with this fucking propaganda and shit like that, you know what I'm saying,
Mm.
you know, and how this thing like basically not trusting anybody who's like not white. That's the best way I see it, shit,
Right.
But
Right.
definitely a very, very, very dope track. Tool, definitely a very dope rock group. Check this shit out.
Which Know Your Enemy song do you prefer? This or the Green Day one?
Rage, of course.
Okay. I like both of them. I'm just checking to see what you was gonna say. But this is definitely a dope track. I love the drums on this. You got Zach sounding like Chuck D on here saying, what? Land of the free, whoever told you that is your enemy. Now something must be done about showing a badge on a gun. So again, you're
Yeah,
going back to that whole thing about, crooked ass cops and trigger happy cops. So yeah, they're definitely a banger.
yeah, definitely a very big track too. Um, yeah, Public Enemy influence again.
Yeah.
Track number 7, Wake Up. Very dope track too, you know what I'm saying? Just talking about again, oh, this is the one. This is what I want to talk about. So it pretty much is a controversial song where it's talking about how, the FBI and the government, like, they're always trying to pull out certain shit about activists, such as Malcolm X and
Right.
Martin Luther King Jr.
Mhm.
And pretty much it's talking about the COINTELPRO, which was an organization, back in, I think, the 50s, 60s, that, trying to pull up anything about them. And they're also targeting like a lot of African American activists too and shit. Like, look that shit up, 'cause that shit is some real ass shit. Trust and
Right.
believe. Um, Very underrated song in my opinion from them and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Just talking about the racism and shit, but then you have motherfuckers like fucking Trump, who basically admitted on doing the crazy shit, and he's still walking scot clean and shit like that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it's crazy too how like the closing lines, the song, was they took it from Martin Luther King's final speech before he got shot and shit too. So, and and one more thing, it definitely sounds like Led Zeppelin Cashmere a little bit with that dan like
Mm-hmm.
definitely sounds like that too. So
Right.
very very dope song, underrated in my opinion.
Definitely a dope beat and the guitar play on here. And you got Zach saying, because all these punks got bullets in the head. You talking to police, the judges, the feds. That is facts. And he's screaming on the chorus, "Wake up!" And I guess this is like vintage Rage Against the Machine right here. Like
I agree.
this is the Zach I want to hear, man. Especially like now, like we need this now. This type of rage, and yeah, it was great.
Definitely I love this track right here. Next track we got is Fistful of Steel. Again, another very dope track. This one was talking about how, your motherfuckers are make you silent and stuff like that. When motherfuckers know so much, that's when they motherfucker want to silence you. That's the way I see it.
Right.
Definitely a very solid joint. I love it.
Yes, definitely a dope ass beat. Love the guitars on here. You got Zach saying if violence was suicide, then you would push the button, but you're bowing down now. Let me do the cutting. And yeah, definitely a great track. One of my favorites on here.
It's definitely one of my favorites too. Definitely, and I love that bass line too. That bass line is
Yes.
so ill.
Yep.
Oof. Then we're gonna get into Township Rebellion. Um, One another cool track right here, very dope track. Just talking about rioting and motherfuckers, rioting against white supremacy and
Hmm.
shit like that. I love the line when they say when Zach says, "Yes, I'll display the fitness and flip like a gymnast, raise my fist and resist. Asleep though we stand in the midst of the war. Gotta get mine, gotta get more and shit." You know what I'm saying? Very dope track. I love the way he was spitting that line. Yeah,
Hmm.
man. Love this shit.
We on a Township Rebellion.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of my that might be my favorite track on here. Like the everything about it was classic, man. The beat, the guitar riffs on here, the guitar playing by Tom, and the chorus when you, Zach saying, why stand on a silent platform, fight the war, fuck the norm, shackle the minds when they're left on the cross, when ignorance reigns, life is lost. And I love that song, man. That was, again, that's like vintage rage, and man, that's my favorite song on this album, man.
Hey,
I could play that any day.
I don't blame you. I mean, any of these songs could easily be a favorite of mine and shit like that.
Right,
Like
right, right.
10 tracks, all bangers and shit. Like, oh.
Mm-hmm.
And the last track is Freedom. This was like the fourth and final single of the album and stuff. This one was they was talking about Native American activism, and it was based on Leonard Peltier, who was involved with the American Indian movement, and he was actually killed after like a shootout in the Pine Ridge Actually, no, he wasn't killed. Excuse me. He took part in the shootout,
Right.
and so he actually got two consecutive life sentences for the death of two FBI agents because they got caught in the shootout and shit.
Mhm.
And a lot of people were raising their. A lot of people were saying how it was injustice because any of those guns could have easily hit the FBI agent. Why was it only
Right.
aimed at him and stuff like that? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And Zach De La Roca, he said in an interview with Rolling Stone in '95, and he said, and I quote, "I believe in this man's ability to bridge the gap between entertainment and activism. Leonard Peltier is a political prisoner, but he's much more than that. He symbolized the continuance of the U.S. genocidal policy that's been perpetrated against the native peoples of this country and shit." So yeah, man, like, and Native Americans have definitely been disrespected a lot of times and shit.
Mhm.
Going
Mhm.
back to the beginning of times too. You know what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
yeah, man. Very very dope track. I love that beat. I love the way he even started like solo. I'm a soloist on no soloist. All I never on the floppy disk. Love the way he started that shit. I just set the whole fucking tone and whatnot. Um, Classic joint. Again, another timeless joint.
How do you feel about like when they exploit Native American culture in mainstream America, like with Disney films and the NFL,
Hmm.
Major League Baseball teams, the Cleveland Browns, the Redskins changed their name last year from the Redskins to I don't even know what the hell they call them anymore.
You know what? I'm gonna be quite honest with you. I feel like people making a big deal of it now, it's a little bit too late, in my opinion, because
Right,
the fact that they use it and like I said, they use the Indians for anything these days and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? They use their culture when it comes to hair and whatnot. So
mm,
Indians in the media is not that big surprise for me, and shit, especially when it comes to the fact how sports team calling themselves the Redskins and shit, and then that just became so ingrained with American culture
right,
that me looking at now time changing now, I'm just like, I mean, I get what they're trying to do, but at the same time, I feel like it's forcing it. You know what I'm saying?
right. Yeah. Yeah, definitely a great song to end the album off. Dope ass beat. Again, I love the guitars. Classic track.
Definitely a classic track. Overall, classic album in my opinion. Definitely a dope album. Like I said, it's hard for me to pick any of the three albums as my favorite Rage albums, in my opinion. But to me, production wise, this might be their best album
Mm-hmm.
because like it had like a dope mixture between like dirty boom bap, metal and whatnot, and they just made it into their own fucking thing. In my opinion, um, definitely love the political nature of the fucking album. Zach De La Roca, I loved how hungry he sounded and shit. Tom Morello, definitely did his thing on the guitar and shit like that too. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
What else? What else about this album? What else about this album? Tim and Brad too. On bass and drums. They definitely created a nice rhythm section as well. Can't forget about them.
Right.
So I'm gonna give this album a 5 mics because I feel like it's a very dope album. Um, Definitely very very relevant today in these times too.
Yeah. Definitely a great album. Great production. Great guitar playing by Tom and Zach with his lyrics and his choruses and just capturing that energy and aggressiveness that we feeling now. And you know uh I love a lot of the songs. Township Rebellion, Freedom, Killing in the Game, Fistful of Steel, all great songs. This is the Rage that I fell in love with. So there's definitely a five mic classic for me.
Yes, sir. Right. I'm probably gonna stay on like 12:30. Okay.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Yeah, really cannot wait to talk about Evil Empire next week.
Right.
Shit. You had a good weekend?
Yeah. It was cool.
up. That's what's up. So we are in October, in the
Already.
last quarter of 2021.
Crazy.
How? So I already saw like Christmas decorations out and shit too.
Already? Christmas?
Yeah. hmm
Oh man.
Like save money on this before Christmas sales and shit.
Wildin'.
Antoine said nowadays you can't even make records like that no more. You can't because everybody wants everybody to have the same opinion about everything.
Right.
And then with the whole cancel culture bullshit and whatnot too. It's just it's like you can't even have a fucking opinion. Ronnie said Eminem got a restaurant and it's called Mom Spaghetti. Yeah, I heard about that.
Is it what kind of spaghetti they serving here?
I have no idea. Sam said I can't wait for Black Flag. Definitely can't wait for that. And speaking of rock music, the Rolling Stones came to North Carolina like last week and shit.
Oh yeah, did you see them?
Nah, I didn't see it. I heard about last minute. My friend, she
Right.
works at like stages for concerts and venues, and she saw them perform for free because she
Oh.
was working there and shit. So
I would
like, oh, wow,
definitely I would definitely try to see them because that's like a legendary group. So
definitely.
you know what I mean. I would definitely go to see them.
Q says favorite cartoon of all time. Ooh.
Wow.
Probably Batman the animated series for me.
Of all time, I can't even pick one. I just had so many in the '80s.
Shit, Simpsons is a close second, but the later years was just so bad. In my
Oh
opinion.
God, the ladies were bad, awful.
To me, the perfect one was from '89 to at least maybe 2001, 2002. 2003 is kind
I
of
think
peak.
I enjoyed the first like 4 or 5 seasons and that was it. But I
Whoa.
would still watch the Treehouse of Terror because I always liked their Halloween specials. But
Okay.
I didn't watch the other seasons. So
Damn. At least season 6 to season 9. Those were some of the best seasons and shit.
you think so?
Yeah. I
I
mean,
felt like they didn't show any growth with them. Like the Flintstones show growth. When like they actually had Pebbles and Bam Bam go off to college and they fell in love and you know what I'm saying. There was an evolution with that franchise. And then you had the Flintstone kids. They didn't do that with the Simpsons. And
yeah, they
I'm
don't do
like, yo,
that.
they could have did that.
They
Yeah.
didn't do that with a lot. They weren't the only cartoons because they didn't do that with South Park either. Them niggas been in fourth grade for 25 years and shit like that.
Right.
They didn't do it to fucking Arthur and shit. Them niggas in the third grade for how long and shit.
Right.
Hell, Ash been 10 years old for how fucking long, and it took him
Right.
this long to become a Pokemon master. Come on, man.
Right. They come on. You know what I'm saying? Like how many movies they do for Pokemon? And you know what I'm saying?
Right, like 8,000 movies. You tell me this motherfucker still ain't a Pokemon master yet?
I'm like already we're like on season 15. He's still in training.
He's
You know?
still 10 years old. Like,
Yeah,
man,
but
at least.
everybody else is like, Charizard is already like he got kids and shit already. You know what I'm saying? We still waiting
Right.
for Ash to be a professional already. Like, come on.
Shit, Gary done retired from fucking battling and shit. I'm just like, this nigga still training and shit. Like,
When you look at Scooby Doo, how many different shows Scooby Doo had? You had Scoob and Scrappy. They had their little spin off. You had 13 Ghosts of Scooby Doo with Vincent Price. They had their spin
yeah.
off. You didn't like that? Oh,
I
come
mean,
on, that was
wait. You said 13 Ghosts?
yes.
Oh, that was cool. I thought you meant the new Scooby and Scrappy Mysteries. The one before that. I ain't like that one.
The one where when they had like the special guests, they had like the Harlem Globetrotters and Batman and Robin. They had
Yeah,
different
that
elements
was,
to that series though.
yeah, that was the Scooby Doo movies. That was
Scooby Doo
cool.
movies, yeah,
Yeah. I like the Scooby Doo show from 1976. That one was good
classic.
too.
Yes, and then like later on, um, uh, uh, Daphne and Fred like hooked up, and you know what I'm saying. They had evolution to that series. I didn't think the Simpsons did that.
Well, I kind of disagree, and I agree with you about the Simpsons because if you focus on like the golden age of the Simpsons, like maybe season 3 to season
Mm,
9,
right.
you show like the characters to be more 3 dimensional and shit like that. But at the same time, too, the Simpsons created like an alternative between like the normal, like they were like the anti Cosby and shit. Like the Cosby
Yes.
Show was like
Yeah.
the successful blacks and shit. Well,
Hmm.
scratch that. The Bundys, the Married with Children, those were the original anti Cosby. But I feel like the Simpsons borrowed more from the Bundys too over the years. But
Right.
that's
Yeah,
just
cause they used to come well before they had their own show. They came on with Tracy Ullman show.
yes,
You know what I'm saying? And I used to watch that show just for The Simpsons, and then they got their own show
everybody
with
did.
yeah, like the early years were like the best years to me. Like the early years of The Simpsons were great. I mean,
Oh,
cause we were still in that whole. Remember, like when they started making the merchandise, like the Bartman T-shirts and all that,
yeah,
and the Nintendo games, it was huge back then. They got their own
yeah.
rap album. I don't know any other cartoon that got their own rap album, their own
Mickey
Christmas
Mouse had
album,
a
or
rap
whatever.
album.
I didn't know that.
I
I
told you
didn't know that.
Mickey Mouse. He was sagging his pants and shit.
I think you did tell me that. They had their
Yeah,
own album, you know what I'm saying, and they were rapping on it, and that was like him. Simpsons were huge over here, you know what I'm saying. I had like the Simpsons T-shirts and knapsacks and everything for school, so
mm,
the Nintendo games and all that, you know what I mean. So I
right.
think like the early years for me, they were like that was like the best years. Like after 2000, I didn't watch the
Yeah.
seasons, but I only would check them for like the Halloween episodes and like if they had like a special guest like Kanye West or whatever, I would check for those episodes.
So I have two things about Simpsons. So
Mm.
you're more like a Tracy Allman Simpsons fan up to like season 5, right?
Nah,
Or
I
you?
mean, well, see, like we didn't see that on prime time. So when she was on prime time on Sunday nights, and they had like that sketch, just that sketch with the Simpsons, I tuned into it. But I wasn't a fan of Tracy Ullman like that. Like she was
Right.
cool, she did her thing, but I would just wait like for her show to come on, so that I can see like the little Simpsons sketch or whatever. And then when they got their show, it was a wrap.
Yeah. I feel you on that. And then I think my other thing I was gonna say about the Simpsons was I'm not gonna lie, I think after a while the show got so boring. I used to just have it as background noise until Family
Yeah,
Guy came on and shit.
yeah,
Because it was
definitely.
just like nothing else on. So I was like, you know what? Some episodes will be good. I'm not gonna lie, but some episodes to be like,
Mm-hmm.
God, this is so boring. Like,
Right,
damn,
because then it's like you had so many like wannabe shows trying to be like The Simpsons. Like South
that.
Park came in. Then you had
Whoa,
I'm not
That was
saying
part
South
really.
Park. I'm not saying South Park is the same. I'm saying like you had competition now because it
Oh,
wasn't just The
competition.
Simpsons on prime time. You had Family Guy, which is a great show. You
Yep.
had American Dad. You had South Park. You had King of the Hill. You had so many other shows. The Clevelands that was coming on and people was checking for them too.
Right. You know what? One show, animated show that never got its just due,
What's up?
Duckman.
Duckman.
Yeah. You know Jason Alexander. He voiced a duck character. It ran from '94 to '98 on USA.
I don't think I saw that.
Oh man, that show is hilarious and shit. But I felt like it got overshadowed by the Simpsons because Simpsons was like that animated series, for adults. But
What?
and it was
Why
on
did they?
US.
I used to wonder like like remember they used to show the Simpsons after the Super Bowl, right?
Yeah,
Why did they wait till they started and they didn't do this in the beginning? They waited till like later on, like they would show Treehouse of Horror like after Halloween. Why did they start doing that?
because I think sometimes with at that time, sometimes Fox would usually start their schedules a little later than the
Mm,
usual traditional schedule or earlier.
right,
And sometimes Fox would try to promote their new shows. And like around that time too, I know American Idol was very popular. They were trying to like shuffle shows around
yeah,
and stuff like that. And sometimes Halloween doesn't always fall on when like the show actually airs on the Halloween
right,
special. So sometimes they might have to push that back to November. Which my thing is, why don't you just put like a week before Halloween? You know what I'm saying?
exactly. I didn't
Get like
understand that.
schedule because
They
that's like me putting a Christmas episode the week of New
exactly
Year's and Day, not New Year's Day and shit like that. It's
right.
like ain't nobody
They
caring
they
about this.
were there was times when they would show the Halloween episode and be like November 8th, November 9th. I'm like Halloween already over.
Yeah,
like that's bad scheduling on Fox part. You know,
Yeah, because at that time too, Fox. I'm gonna be real. After a certain time, when Family Guy got more popular than American Idol, they didn't really care about Simpsons.
they didn't
like that.
care. Yeah, but it's still on. It's still on.
Because it's a cash grab and shit.
Yeah.
But the same way how the same thing about Simpsons. Same thing I'm saying about Family Guy now
Did-
because
Did they give them their own channel already? 'Cause I know they were talking about that a couple years ago, like 24 hour Simpsons channel.
no, what they did was when they took the show to F Triple X, you know, the
Yeah.
FX channel, sister channel.
Mhm.
They played every single one of Simpsons episode, like every 700, 800 episodes,
Yeah.
marathon and shit like that, you know.
But I know there was talks about them like getting their own channel like at some point. Like I guess that would be good for streaming. Like 24 hour like Simpsons. You think that's stupid?
That's stupid. Because to me, it's like if you're gonna give a 24-hour Simpsons channel, then you might as well do a 24-hour Family Guy channel and shit like that. And it's just like, why not like just put it on a like what they do with Disney Plus? Just put all the episodes on Disney Plus and shit. You don't need a no fucking channel and shit, nigga. Unless if it's like you want to do like a collection of all the Fox shows from the '90s and shit like that. You
Right.
know, like a whole channel of that, like a Fox Vintage channel. I'm cool with that. You know.
Yeah.
Cause I don't want to see, cause they're gonna probably play like hella new episodes, the newest seasons and shit, and then they're gonna play like a little bit the older. Even hell no, I ain't going down that shit.
Right. Well, I mean,
Just leave it on
I would hope they have like a schedule so they can tell people what they playing. You know, like season 15, whatever. You know.
Yeah. So I got an idea. So I'm gonna announce it to everybody. So I think the week of Halloween, that's when I wanted the whole fucking Batman week and shit.
Oh, Batman week. Okay.
Yeah.
We
And
discussing all the Batman films, everyone.
everyone
Live
gonna be
action
the-
and animated, or just some of the animated?
Well, I was thinking like this. I was thinking this. You know how we did a Tupac breakdown months ago and shit like that. I was thinking of doing the '89 to '97 Batman movies and shit like that, including Batman: Mask of the Phantom, the animated movie from '93, which
Fantastic.
I consider that part of that Batman, whatever you want to call it,
The
that
best one?
Batman. Yeah,
Animated,
'cause I don't know what
yeah.
to call it, the four movies and shit, you know. But
Right. Well, the
Anyway.
first two are like the Burton films,
yes,
Tim Burton, and then you got Val Kilmer and Clooney.
yeah. And the
And
last
you got
two,
the Christopher Nolan trilogy with Kristen Bale.
yeah, I'm gonna get to that too. I'm gonna get to that. Yeah, so we're gonna talk about in the first one. We're gonna talk about like the Burton, the animated, and then there's Schumacher films, which I don't really want to talk about Batman and Robin though. But you know what?
Mm.
And then I think another day, I'm gonna talk about Batman the animated series, like my top 10 favorite episodes
Yeah.
of that, because that cartoon, in my opinion, I just have a whole new respect for it and
Mhm.
shit like that. Actually, I was thinking of doing that and Batman Beyond, but you said you haven't watched Batman Beyond. in years.
I watched Batman Beyond. I didn't watch all the seasons. I watched
Yeah.
like different episodes. I wasn't a fan of that series, like the animated one, and even the Batman I thought was good too.
I didn't like the Batman.
You didn't like that one? There was
Yeah.
some good episodes in that.
The animation, it was like
The-
the Joker design
Mhm.
alone was just trash.
Yeah, I didn't like the Joker. I didn't like the Joker how they designed him in that.
They made him
Um,
look like Wyclef Jean and shit like that.
I like a lot of the animated films though, like Batman versus Dracula. That was one of my favorites, and Harley Quinn meets Batman. That was another one of my the Bad Blood one. Under the Red Hood is a classic. I like a lot of the animated ones. Even the recent ones. The recent ones in the last 2 or 3 years have been good too.
I feel you. I feel you on that. And-
Those are more adult because they had like Robin sleeping with Harley Quinn and Batman sleeping with Batwoman and all. I'm like, what's going on here?
Oh yeah, those movies. Okay.
Yes,
okay.
the recent ones. So like the last 3 or 4 years, I think DC puts out the best animated films.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying? Like Marvel is great with their big screen live action films and their TV stuff, and I think DC is great at their animation films.
True.
You know,
Yeah, and when it comes to the Nolan films too, we can do a breakdown of those and shit like
Mhm.
that.
Right.
Because that week alone with the Batman, I don't really want to do a review, but if I do a review,
Mhm.
it'll probably be like a pre-recorded review of like the Batman Forever soundtrack and shit. Because
Okay.
unless you want to talk about the Prince Batman album and shit, 'cause
I
we can do
mean,
that
we
again.
could do that, man. That's one of my favorite soundtracks ever. So
Yeah, 'cause I did that years ago, but you know what? I don't
yeah,
mind talking about the album. But
right.
I'll give a final answer. I'll plan it all out
Yeah.
because then the Halloween, when it comes to Halloween and shit, like if I go to a party, I might plan early and shit like that.
Mhm.
If I don't go to a party, I'm just gonna just do the review the regular time. Then we can
Right.
just do the Stankonia since it's the anniversary and shit.
Right.
And since I let's say I want to talk about the album for since like longest and shit too.
Right.
So in other words, Outcast B. That's the best way to put it.
Did you see my do reunion? I saw KC post something with the hashtag verses, so they got a verses coming up at some point.
As long as it's not with Drew Hill, I'm good.
I don't know why people want Drew Hill against Jodeci. I don't
Nah,
think Drew got
there's
enough.
no fucking competition. Like
I don't think they got enough for Jodeci.
that's like putting Pretty Ricky against 112.
Oh man.
I mean, like you know me, I'm not like the biggest Drew Hill fan, but to me, they're not. I hate when people say they Jodeci level, Boys to Men level. I'm like, nah, they more
Yeah.
like Jagged Edge, 112 level
Yeah.
and shit like that. I'll never put them against
If
Jodeci
it's not
Boys.
Boys to Men, then I don't want it. I just and there's not too many groups that can match up with Jodeci though.
Right, and there's not too many groups like Macro with Boys to Men either,
Right.
too.
Right.
So
You know. A lot of them
shit.
didn't stay around long enough, or they got like one album. And, Shy,
Right.
like Shy can't match up with nobody.
Oh God.
Who you got
No.
Silk against? Silk against Drew Hill, maybe.
Actually, I'm not gonna lie. That might actually work because Silk is very underrated too, and
They
niggas be
are.
sleeping on the discography, and they
Hmm.
have the same amount of albums, I would say.
Right, right.
So I will kind of see Silk with Drew Hill. I'm not gonna lie.
Hmm. I think that would be a better matchup for them.
Yeah, but see, niggas don't think
They
like
don't know about
us.
Silk.
They
Nah.
don't think. They're not that. They just want to do it for the commercial, like the
Right.
big names and shit.
You're right. Silk against Black Sheep? Nah. I think Black Sheep will win. I think Black Sheep
Yeah,
taking
Blackstreet. Yeah. Hell, even
Black Sheep. You know what they said about New Edition, where they might have to battle each other. Black Teddy Riley groups will have to battle each other. Guy versus Blackstreet, because Teddy Riley a part of both of those.
oh wow,
They might have to battle each other.
damn.
What Teddy Riley group had the better hits? Was it Blackstreet or Guy?
I'm not gonna lie. Both the Guy and Blackstreet only had two good albums in my opinion.
Right,
So,
right. So
because
I
I
agree.
did not care
I
about the
agree.
latter Blackstreet albums, and y'all know how I feel about the
Right.
future of the Guy. That's why that might work, but at the same
Get,
time, Chauncey might not let some of his songs get licensed and shit. Because we
yeah, they
all saw
feuding.
that.
They both of them are feuding. Like he don't get along with Blackstreet or Guy. So I don't
Hell,
understand that.
because I remember the Dave Hollister episode. They were talking about Before I Let You Go. So I was, me, I love that. So I was ready to hear that song. You're the
Hmm.
narrator. Unfortunately, the song has not been licensed by Chauncey, so you could not hear the song. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, but Teddy Riley produced it. That's his beats. You know
Still,
what I'm
but
saying?
the songwriting, publishing outrules it all and shit.
So Chauncey
And
wrote that.
yeah, Chauncey wrote that track.
Mm. And we know it's Teddy's group and Teddy produced it.
Yeah,
That's
and
crazy.
Chauncey, that's the thing. Songwriting, publishing. That's why I tell motherfuckers keep your publishing.
No, I thought Pretty Ricky was trash. They didn't like them.
I mean, I only like On the Hotline and Grind with
Mm.
Me. Other than that, it was just
Yeah,
those were elementary school days. After that, I just
yeah.
grew up after that. But I had a dope idea.
Mm.
I do want to talk about Double X Posse one day.
So look, maybe we
But
could get him on because he follows me.
oh shit,
So
yeah.
maybe we can get him. We could get Ray on the show.
Oh, I still got to message Shaq. Hold up.
Yeah, what you waiting for? Come on, Shaq. You know,
'Cause
let's do this
busy.
before the NBA season start because then you're gonna be busy.
Right. I mean, the nigga didn't put his phone number on Instagram and shit. So.
Right. Yeah. What's good, Shaq? Shaq Diesel, Shaq Fu. I want to ask him about that video game too, Shaq Fu.
You think he still plays it and shit?
Does anybody still play? Man, that shit was like $30 when that dropped. I'm like, I was not buying that shit.
$30. Oh shit.
Yeah, like that shit was, with tax. It was like $27 with tax. It was $30. You know, depending on where you go. You go to Toys R Us, it was like $30. Like I'm not playing Shaq Fu.
Alright. But yeah, man. Black Street, man. Oof. Favorite video game of all time.
Some of these people like the people that want some of these artists to be in the verses, they might have to do like best 5 songs against your 5 because they don't got, some of them ain't got 20. You know what I'm saying? When you look at groups like Shy and the Law, you know, Portrait, they ain't got 20 hits. They barely got one album, let alone 20 songs to play. You know, intro, you know what I'm saying? And I love the intro, but you know, you ain't got your leader no more. That's the end of the group.
Hell, they could play some Mary J. Blige songs they wrote for her and shit.
You know, we not gonna get everybody in the verses, man.
Exactly. Like, niggas saying they want Megan Thee Stallion in the verses.
Nah, I ain't watching. Does she got 20 hits already?
Shit.
Against who? Who Megan going against? Little Kim? Nicki Minaj? Who's she going
You know what I'm
against?
saying? Cardi B.
Oh God. Favorite Ed Sheeran album? I like Multiply is probably my favorite. But I love all his albums though. But Multiply and Plus were like my 2 favorites, and then Divide. Yeah, Neptune definitely. It got to be Neptunes and Trackmasters or Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis. Definitely. Those great production duos. Yeah, I don't got Double X Posse album. Sam said none. You know, he's not a fan of Ed Sheeran.
Yeah, I'm not the biggest one either.
That's funny.
That's that Starbucks music.
Ed Sheeran could do a verses right now.
Also, Ed Sheeran can do a verse.
Yes, because he got hits. He got hits. He definitely could do a verses right now. You know, and he's not one to always jump on a whole bunch of features with people. That's what I like about him. He's not like running to jump on everybody's albums and shit. What is the worst pop singer? I don't know. What's the worst pop singer?
Shit, I don't know.
If they're worse, I'm probably not listening to them. So couldn't tell you.
Just messaging.
Is that official? Is Marshall Mathers 3 coming out?
Man, at this point, I don't even know.
I'm not looking forward to it. So
So if it has premium, you're not looking forward to it?
it has to be good. It has to be good. If it's revival Kamikaze, I don't want to hear it. If it's vintage Slim Shady, maybe. I'm not getting my hopes up though. And not like Part 2 was great. Part 2 wasn't a great album.
It was alright.
It did not live up to the first one. If you're gonna do a sequel album, it gotta live up to the original. Roast Rock Band? I couldn't tell you. Cash Money against No Limit. But who's still on Cash Money other than Birdman and Weezy? Who else is still on there? They would have to bring back all the old cats. Hot Boys. Who else was on Cash Money at that time? Didn't one of them die?
I want to say yeah.
Wasn't Soldier Slim? Wasn't he on Cash Money?
Yeah, Soldier Slim, yeah.
Who else? Who's still on Cash Money? Tina Marie is dead. She used to be on Cash Money. She's gone.
Yeah, she had like
What you
one
mean?
album.
Right. I think Little Mo was signed to them at one point.
Oh wow.
You know, Busta Rhymes, he was signed to them at one point. That didn't last.
Bow Wow.
Bow Wow. They just like they don't have a great roster, yo. Oh, Soldier Slim is No Limit? Okay. Well, I can name more people on No Limit than in Cash Money. Seinfeld over Friends? I didn't watch either.
They just added Seinfeld to Netflix too.
Did they?
Yeah. Alright. I'm just saying for like 5 more minutes.
You're not happy about Eminem performing at the Super Bowl? Why not? That's something I definitely want to see. Just to hear Eminem do The Way I Am at the Super Bowl? What? They're not hip hop fans then if they don't want that. Definitely want to see that shit, man.
That sounds too good to be true.
You know what I mean? I watched last night, like from the 80s till now, different Super Bowl performances. You know how bad a lot of those Super Bowl performances was in the 80s and the 90s? They were like cheesy. You had New Kids on the Block on there, and I love New Kids, but they shit was bad when they like performing with Goofy and Mickey Mouse, and you know what I'm saying? There's like a whole bunch of like bad performances. The NFL performances got better in like in the 2000s. You know what I'm saying? Like minus the Michael Jackson one and Diana Ross, but a lot of them were bad. You know what I'm saying? Like I would definitely welcome Eminem performing at any Super Bowl halftime show. Yeah, Bow Wow was on Cash Money. Boyz II Men, End of the Road on Bended Knee. But I got tired of End of the Road, so I'm going with on Bended Knee.
Same.
Way overplayed.
Tired of that fucking song.
Way overplayed. They re-released Cooley Eye Harmony just to put that song back on the album. You know what I mean?
That's funny.
Like, come on, man.
Pain in my hand.
That's become their like their signature song now. So
Although we've come. I'm not gonna lie, the last episode of A Different World, when they said that song, I did like that and shit.
You like that? I
Yeah.
don't even remember that. The last episode of the series?
Yeah.
I don't even remember that.
Yeah, Dwayne Whitley was moving to Japan and shit.
Don't remember. It's been years since I saw that shit. I remember when he stopped the wedding. That's like about it.
Better please.
You know what I mean? I remember that. He stopped the wedding and they finally got together, but I don't remember nothing else after that.
Wow. If that shit happened in real life or motherfucker did that shit, I would be dying on the door.
Well,
I'm sorry.
he's not irrelevant if the Super Bowl is having him. You know what I'm saying? He's still Eminem is still putting out music in 2021. It's just not good music. He's not irrelevant. It's just I don't like the shit that he's putting out. But I would definitely rather watch Eminem at any halftime show than, New Kids on the Block or Dancing with Goofy and Mickey Mouse. I mean that shit was bad, yo. You know what I'm saying? They had like Patti LaBelle singing around a fake Indiana Jones. I guess they had like an Indiana Jones ride at that time for Universal Studios. And it wasn't even Harrison Ford dressed up as Indiana Jones. It was somebody else. It was bad.
Yeah, I'm not gonna. I was reading the in Living Color book, and
Mm,
they were talking about how when they did the live episode for the halftime show and stuff like that,
mm,
they said that that was really what made the Super Bowl halftime show like an event because a
mm.
year after that, Michael Jackson did the
Yes,
Super Bowl halftime show
that was
too.
great. The Prince one, the Michael one, um, even the,
Beyonce.
say what they want about the whole nipple slip. Janet and Justin show was great. I loved it. She did her thing. You
I
know,
mostly like the Missy performance, like
you like the performance,
the Missy one
the Missy
more.
performance. Oh, with Katy Perry, that was good too.
No, no, no. I think Missy did one with Janet too, didn't she? On that same
Nah,
Super
that was just, it was only Missy only was on there with Katy Perry.
Really?
Yeah,
I could have sworn she was on that
the
Super
the
Bowl.
the the one with Janet and Justin, it was Diddy and Nelly that was on it.
Oh,
Yeah,
never
that
mind.
one they didn't need them. They didn't need. I don't know why they put Diddy on there. He
Yeah,
wasn't
that's the
needed.
thing about so in the halftime show. They will just throw artists together, and that's
Hmm.
what sometimes would irritate me about
Right.
halftime shows. Like,
Hmm. Like the one in 2014, they had Bruno Mars come on and Red Hot Chili Peppers came out and did like one song and then they left. I didn't
yeah,
understand that. Like why? Bruno Mars could hold on a whole show by himself. You know.
and then that one time I think they had Coldplay and Beyonce at one point.
Yes, and Bruno Mars again. He was on there.
The fuck is it up with Bruno Mars?
There's certain artists that they've done multiple Super Bowls like Bruno Mars.
Yeah.
Nelly did two. He did two
Oh
Super
yeah.
Bowls. Um,
Beyonce did I think two or three.
yeah, you
Yeah.
know Justin Timberlake. You know what I'm saying? He did two. You know what I'm saying? The one I want to say it was 2000 or 2001. The one with it was Aerosmith and they had Mary J. Blige come out and Britney Spears and sing. It was too many people on that small stage. Way too
Yeah.
many people. I didn't like the way that they made the stage because it was like some like
So simple.
yeah, it was like some it was like and they tried to all dance at the same time on stage and they were like pushing. You had Nelly come out on there again and he was like pushing it, running into Justin Timberlake and I'm like nah, it was way too many artists on that one. You know,
Ridiculous.
the Black Eyed Peas one I enjoyed that one and they held it down mostly and Usher came down and he did OMG and that one was a great one. But they
Yeah.
got it. They can't have like too many people. Like I love the one that they planned, the first hip hop one. This is gonna be great. Like shit, hell yeah, bring Eminem out on there. I want to see that.
Ronnie said, "We are the world or Philadelphia International All Stars. Let's clean up the ghetto." Oh, definitely, let's clean up the ghetto.
We Are the World, definitely. Let's Clean Up the Ghetto was dope, but I love We Are the World.
Yeah.
Just cause Michael is on it, you know what I'm saying? Just cause Michael is on it, you know.
Yeah, I have nothing against the original "We Are the World" and stuff, but
Right.
it's like certain singers kind of ruined it for me. That's all I gotta say.
You think so? Who ruined it for you?
Springsteen, Cyndi
Wow.
Lauper.
What? Cyndi Lauper was dope, man.
Uh,
Wow, wow, wow.
I was like,
Oh, Lord.
nah.
Wow.
Who else? Who else? I think
Hmm?
I'm was Huey Lewis. Was he on that shit too?
Yes, he was. He did a song for the album. He did a song for the album.
But I will pick the original over the new version any day. So
Oh yeah, definitely. That Wycliffe one was terrible.
Ayati,
No,
Ayati.
please stop singing that.
Huh?
Yeah.
Don't get no.
man.
What? Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm just like, real nigga. We know you're Haitian. Let's say it.
Jennifer Hudson giving them the side eye. Nigga, what you
You
doing?
know what I mean?
What if Madonna was on there? I mean, everybody couldn't fit on the album for some reason. So Madonna should have been on there.
I'm not gonna lie. Hip hop made the best protest songs, in my opinion.
Yes, definitely.
I mean, self destruction,
Hmm.
heal, heal.
Yes.
Do you know about the
Oh,
West? Oh, go
I was
ahead.
gonna say that too. The all in the same game.
No, not that one.
Not that one.
There's one. Ice Cube did with the L.A. Riots with Cam, Thread, Cypress Hill, Yo Yo,
Yes.
UC8.
I heard that once though.
Man,
Mm-hmm.
that shit right there, whoo!
Yep.
It's like we're all in the same. I like we're all in the same game, but
Mhm.
it was a bit too happy dappy for me. But in my opinion,
Mm.
guess who had the best verse? You'd be surprised.
Easy E.
Hammer.
Hammer. Oh wow. I didn't expect that.
Hammer
Hammer.
had the
Shit.
best verse on
That-
that.
Now that's
Probably
something you don't hear
best
every day.
verse in his career.
That's something you don't hear every day. Hammer.
Yeah, the best,
best
verse
verse?
in his whole career is
You,
on that song.
you definitely
I don't
would
give a
never
fuck
hear me
what
say
you
that shit. That might be the only time you ever hear that on here.
Hey, I don't give a fuck. I mean, I don't give a. Cause don't get me
Bro.
wrong. Don't get me wrong. I like we're all in the same game,
Mhm.
but there's certain motherfuckers I felt kind of like Dre and Ren. I liked their part,
Mhm.
but it was just like they were saying we shouldn't kill the gangbangs or arrest them because they listen to our music. It was like I
Right.
think the message in that song was just a bit too.
Mhm.
It's like they just said some shit. I feel like Easy kind of
Right.
told the show with the last verse. Like, yeah, he kind of saved the grade.
Right.
But Shock G, his verse
Mhm.
was my second favorite.
How did you feel about the Arsenio performance of that song?
Classic.
That was good.
I love that. I love that.
Yeah.
Hell, don't even get me started on the Panther soundtrack with
Yes.
the points. Don't even get me
Yes.
started on that.
Points. And I like the R&B one too, with TLC and Patra and them. Oh, that was fire.
Fucking Left Side, all them do the fucking
Yes.
bit. Oh man.
That was dope. That was dope.
Yeah.
The Abner Louima song, 911. That joint with Talib Kweli and De La Soul. That was '98 when Louima got assaulted by the cops.
Oh nah.
Not Louima. Diallo, the Diallo song, the 41 Shots joint.
I never heard that.
You never seen? They have a video for it. They did a video with De La Soul, Talib Kweli is on it. I think Mos Def is on it. It's a whole bunch of It's like a compilation album. It's like different. I think Pharoah Monch is on it.
Is it the America is Dying Slowly?
Nah, that was before. That was American Dying Slowly was like '96, I think. For that one. The I'm gonna send it to you. The Diallo one was like when Diallo got killed for like reaching for his keys. They did a whole tribute song from Rap City used to play the video every now and then, but I saw the compilation in stores and I never picked it up, and I wish I did because it's out of print now. But there was like different. I think Jean Grey was on that compilation too, but it was like a whole bunch of underground hip hop artists that was on that, and they just dedicated that to Diallo when he got killed.
Yes.
So.
Was
it 99? It was 99? I thought it was 98. Okay. Yeah, that was a dope one too.
There was another posse one with a protest song. I'm trying to think what it was. Damn, it's a brain fart shit. Because after like a while they just stopped doing that shit. And they just had posse because of who was the best rapper and shit, so it was all good.
Right.
But there was a hip hop posse. It was a political track.
Which one?
See, I'm trying to think, but I forgot. I might have to do my research. Hold on. Yeah, hip hop. I kind of prefer hip hop political posse cuts over the musicians who they only do that shit whenever somebody gets shot or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Or whenever there's somebody dying or hurricane. Let's all sing a song, raise some money and shit. When 9 times out of 10 that money's not even to go to that country and shit. Let's be real.
Exactly.
Oh yeah, Kool G Rap and Kane and Biz Markie.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Yes, that was dope. That was a dope one. What was the other one? The Heal Yourself joint?
Yep, Heal Yourself.
That's an underrated one too, yes.
I love that.
The chick that was singing, I forgot her name.
Harmony.
That was on Harmony, yes.
Yeah.
What happened to her?
I don't know. I know
She not doing music?
She only do that much after BDP broke up from what I looked up.
Right.
You know the story with LL's verse, right? On that
Nah,
track?
what happened with that?
They tried to cut that verse off like the video because it didn't fit. because he was talking about some girl, like he was talking about some fucking girl, and it was a political track. It was like that's why like even when the song like that, the beat like ding, 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 ding,
Yeah.
and it's like girl is on my job. I'm just like myself like nigga, this is a political track. Nigga, what the fuck you talking about? Like this nigga always dropping some weak ass verses on podcast. And I love LL. I love LL, but I'm just looking at myself like nigga, what? Like now I know why
I
Karos
forgot
won't
to-
cut that verse out. And,
Yo, I
and
forgot.
they didn't even want to ask Rakim to be on that posse cut too. Like on
Right,
the posse
right.
cut. That's crazy. But y'all want to put that whack ass but at the same time, LL did write Light's verse on self destruction. So
Right.
I'll give him that. But still.
I forgot the name of that shit. What was the name of that Diallo joint, yo? On Ruckus.
Shit, maybe Ronnie will send it to me. Like shit.
Come on, Ronnie, get on your job here. What's the name of that Ruckus All Stars joint, yo? I can't find it on YouTube.
Of course you can't find it on YouTube because talking about police brutality.
Unless they took it off of YouTube. Maybe they took it off of it.
Shit, I won't be surprised. But who the fuck is this? Even the sound of my phone just gets me annoyed.
Oh Lord, you know you could change that, right?
You mean change the sound? Yeah, I'm not gonna change the sound, but I'm
change
still gonna get annoyed by the sound and shit like that. Cause I don't like people texting me after midnight. But it was actually a package I'm actually waiting for. So
Okay.
yeah, cause I got a few more albums on the way, but not too much.
Uh-oh.
By the way, November 1st is gonna be the birthday celebration and shit.
Oh, I found it.
Oh, you found
the
it?
video. Yeah. Yeah, there's a video. It's Talib Kweli, Cool G Rap, Rod Digger, Most Def Common, Pharoah Monch, Paz the Noose, and more. And it's like a whole compilation. But they dropped this song, one for Love Part 1, Reversing the Hate, and it was like hip hop for respect for Amadou Diallo.
Okay.
And that shit is out of print, man. Like, I wonder how much that shit is on eBay, man. Shit. Heal Yourself, yeah, that was dope. They had an album for that, right? For Heal Yourself. I never
Yeah.
heard the album. Never heard that.
I heard some of the album. It was actually pretty dope.
It was good.
Yeah.
Shit.
Shit. Trying to. Oh, I got it. Shit, trying to think of another political.
Why are we talking about the We Are the World remake? It was terrible.
You said what?
The We Are the World remake, that was bad. That's what I
Trash.
think.
Fire too.
No,
Fire.
not good. No.
Anytime they mention "We Are the World," I'm not gonna say that shit. Like,
And then I start thinking about Wyclef and his dumbass.
you said what?
Then I start thinking about Wyclef on that shit. No.
Yeah, let me get ready to end this video off. I'm gonna give me something to eat before I go to bed. Alright. So this has been a very fun review.
Yeah.
And shit like that. Tuesday we're gonna talk about I-20's only album stuff explanatory. Really cannot wait to talk about that one and shit like that. Thursday is the Black Flag discography breakdown and stuff, can't wait to talk about that as well. And of course, Sunday is gonna be Evil Empire, Next Wage album and shit too. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you guys are pre-ordering the Masquerade clothing brand and whatnot because after Friday, price is going to change and shit like that. So get them pre-orders as soon as you can.
What was terrible about it? Wyclef was terrible about it.
The rap part was terrible about it. The auto-tune was terrible about it.
The artist they picked for that song was bad.
It's like you can tell everybody was just doing it for the money.
Yeah.
Well, even the original, you can tell everybody was doing it for the money, but they hided it.
Yeah.
They hit it well and shit. But,
Right.
but yeah, it was just trash and shit. But anyway, appreciate this try.
Yeah.
as usual and stuff like that. Buy that shit if you can find
Buy
it.
it, definitely. I don't stream nothing. I'm buying it. If I don't have it, I'm buying it. Somewhere I will get it.
Exactly. Buy that shit.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, stay tuned on Tuesday. I will see y'all later. Hope y'all have a good night.
Yep.
Peace.
Peace.
Right on.